Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not. Did you enjoy this episode?
I enjoy every episode of
I
these
do
women,
too.
of
I
those women.
love Salt Lake
I do too.
City.
I
I
want to live
do.
there.
I would love to live near them.
Oh,
I
yeah,
really
totally.
would.
I have to say, Meredith Marks and her family, if you haven't watched Schitt's Creek, they are Schitt's Creek. Like,
She's a little bit,
she
Catherine
is
O'Hara.
totally, what's
Yeah,
her name? Kelly O'Hara or Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine. It's
Seth is
Catherine.
totally like what's his name?
Yeah,
Brooks is definitely like the gay son, and then the
yeah,
sister is definitely like the other one. Now they do have a third son, as we saw in the last, or I said on the last episode, he
yeah,
doesn't
but
have to be on camera.
good for him.
But the scene when she's telling the kids that she's gonna get her bat mitzvah, and they just are like, why? Why would you do that? But then
Yeah,
the difference between Seth and the kids, like I
it's
couldn't
night and
stop
day.
laughing the whole time.
I think that her conversation with Seth was the line of definitely the episode
Yeah,
was Whitney sort of like high school algebra. You just don't pay any attention to it.
I thought it was
It
amazing.
was a great
And lately,
line.
I've been thinking that he's right. The time that students waste in high school with trigonometry and algebra 2, maybe algebra 1, I don't remember what it was, but algebra 2, definitely not. How about personal finance? Just how about like
How
civic
about how to
engagement?
change a tire?
Yeah, like simple things though, like personal
Yeah,
finance, filing your taxes, change a tire,
yeah.
like what you need to
Change
do to
the
like
oil.
register for the census, register to vote, like things that people don't know how to do that like they need to do. I even just like home ec in middle school is not worth it. Like,
How about change a light bulb for some kids?
yes.
I mean, simple, fundamental
Oh, how
tasks.
about what is a switchboard in a house? Like what
The
are the
fuse
switches?
box. You
The
mean the
fuse box.
fuse
That's what I'm saying.
box?
Like what,
He
like which one
doesn't.
do you do to restart the like simple basic things?
Yes.
Like, how about this? How about every student in
Your
high school to
parents are supposed to tell you
triple
all those
A,
things. All
register
those
for triple
things.
A, like
You know
simple
what?
things.
I want to tell you the difference between a baby boomer and what are you, a millennial?
I'm on the cusp of millennial and Gen Z. No, I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial, and I'm on the cusp of Gen X
Mm.
and a baby boomer. I'm right there. Is our parents used to teach us those things?
Okay, so whose fault is that? Our parents, which is you.
Me, my fault. I didn't teach her that. You
All
know what
I was
I
told the
always
whole life
say?
is you're never gonna know how to do anything.
You know
Well,
what I think we need to start with is we actually need to start teaching millennials just simple things like how to scramble an egg and mash potato
well, listen, my parents' biggest worry in life is how my
is.
sisters and I are gonna handle their summer home because none of us will go under the house because of the rodents and all that. And I go, oh, that's gonna be our biggest problem. I have no problem paying someone to do. So fine.
Well, I want to tell you that I thought, first of all, I'm not feeling this Bronwyn.
I
I
think
think
that
she's a
brought
good housewife,
yeah,
but that
she's
doesn't mean
fine.
I feel her. And first of all, I think her husband is creepy. I'm
He
just going to
is.
say it.
Ugh.
He's creepy.
When she was sitting there and talking to him about the trip,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to anyone that listens to us that has an age gap in their marriage. I don't think that all of them are terrible. You look at like I don't watch Dubai, but you look at what's her name that was on Ladies of London or whatever, and then her young um husband or whatever, Sergio and whatever her name is. Fine. I think women can maybe pull it off because they get a lot of work done and they can look a little younger. There is something that I didn't even think it was her husband. I thought it was her father. Like I thought that she was talking to her dad.
Well, I want to tell you what my creep level is. My creep level is always if they have children younger or older than you.
Mm.
Okay, so it's like the fact that Bronwyn is younger than Todd's children. That's my
But
creep
Whitney's
factor.
younger than Justin's son by
No,
like 4 months.
no. She said they were 5 years difference, I thought Whitney said. No, Whitney said she wasn't younger. She was a little bit old, but they
Our
don't look.
listeners, fact check us right.
Yeah,
Fact check us right now and tell us in the
yeah.
comments.
But I want to tell you, Justin and
Looks younger.
Whitney do not look as nearly as
Yeah, that's the difference. I
creepy.
think there's a timeline. Like if you're gonna, okay, if you're gonna marry someone that's 20 or 30 years younger than you, do it before you hit 50 so that they're like 25 and 45, 25 and 50, not 35 and like 60. Because
He is way older than 60. I bet you her husband's 72 years old.
yeah, well, the Pilot was a while ago, so
That was okay. Let me think about that. I had a sidekick about 25 years ago.
exactly.
Yeah, so
There we
he's on
go.
35 years ago. I'm just going to say, and the house looks like a crypt. On the outside, it looks like a big, disgusting crypt. I don't like her aesthetic. I don't understand that she can have all this fashion, but she's got that one table with nothing on it, or her room hasn't been done. I don't like her
I
rugs. I
will
don't
say
like
this.
her
Did you
artwork.
see
I don't like any of it.
Christian Seriano say on Watch What Happens Live that Andy said, which housewives do you dress and like which ones do you like? And
Oh,
he goes, I don't love them because they don't pay, but like I've dressed some of them, but they don't like to pay. And he goes, except Bronwyn. She's been a customer for years. He
oh,
said half the stuff in her confessionals that you see is like Christian Seriano, like custom couture. So
okay.
I do believe she has money.
I didn't say she didn't have money. I just
But
don't like
that's
her
what I think makes
style.
it worse.
Yeah, maybe.
I always judge people that have like a lot of money and
Yeah.
don't have the ability to like be trendy.
Finish a room.
Margaret
Like
Joseph.
to say that she's been there for a year and a half and her dining room isn't set up to me is
How about
weird.
like 10 years like Margaret Joseph's?
Yeah, well, that's different. That was a work in progress.
Yeah, as soon as she
Yeah,
paid off the bills of the Macbeth
But
bankruptcies.
Margaret and Joe didn't have a lot of money.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the
Yeah.
difference. You know what I mean? But I don't like him. And I'm not that I don't like him. I don't have anything against Todd, but this is just
It's
creep
creepy. It's
factor
creepy.
there. And then when she mentioned that he had gout and that she has to sleep with the man with gout, kind of like set off little antennas for me because I'm thinking, yeah, you're sacrificing a lot, girl, to sleep with the guy with gout. Yeah, I hope it's worth it. Because when she
I
said
hope it's
that,
worth it too.
I have to sleep with the man with gout.
I will
Ooh.
give her credit, and she's absolutely right, though, later in the episode at the game when she says, why is it any different for me to exaggerate my feelings on someone? But you can say, because then Lisa, as much as I love our Lisa,
I love
she
Lisa.
tap dance around the Nordstrom returning label that she had on that
Other
woman,
woman.
you know,
Yeah.
the one that was definitely going to be a friend but didn't make it. So we
Yeah,
won't
she
see much
didn't
of
make
her.
it either, like Brittany. But
Yeah.
Brittany she's almost become the center of the episodes.
Thank you, Osmonds. And if you haven't noticed, Jared Osmond has gone nuts on social
Oh,
media.
yeah, he's loving it.
And he's a flip-flopper. One day it was like, I didn't want to be on the show. I can't believe she put it on the show. And then as recent as yesterday, he then put out an interview about how much he loves Brittany and she's amazing and she's this great girl. So poor little
I'm just going to say
Jared.
the Osmonds always had this persona that they were just apple pie and Americana and as perfect and as pure as you could be.
Okay.
I'm talking about when I grew up with Donnie and Marie, they were pure,
Yeah.
as
Your
pure as
mother
can
loved the
be.
Osmonds.
I'm going to tell you, we saw Donnie and Marie. I took my mother, Andrew's grandmother, to see Donnie and Marie, and we had the best time maybe ever. And I got a big Johnny came running up and I had my arms open and we had a huge embrace. And my mother was always a little jealous that I got a hug from Donny Osmond and she didn't.
Oh, well, Brittany, there you go. A little message from Aunt. If anything positive comes out of this, you hugged probably way more an Osmond, just like Aunt, and people are going to be jealous of you. So keep it up.
I know,
Sweetie.
but Donnie and Marie, a fantastic show. The Osmonds have always been so pure. So it's kind of funny to me to see them getting into this whole kind of Tinder
Spat.
world.
Yeah.
Tinder,
But
it's like a Tinderish world where he's texting this girl and texting this girl, and who's texting
the
who?
brow girl.
The brow girl.
Yeah.
The brow girl of
Do you
all
have a
girls.
brow girl?
No, I don't. I do my own brows.
Oh, wow. They
Thank you
look
very
fabulous.
much.
Well, let's talk about another infamous. Well, let's not talk about a famous man. How about an infamous?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer. What's that smell?
Only Mary Cosby would be living near Jeffrey Dahmer.
And that her dad would say, what's that smell? Ooh,
How
what's that
many people,
smell?
you know what I want to know? I want to know how many people out there listening to us right now who watched the show had to Google Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, come on. I hope not. Everyone
Well, I
knows.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying I have some younger nieces. If I ask them who Jeffrey Dahmer is, I'm not sure they would know.
Okay. Can I ask you, who do you think paid for the private plane?
Whose trip was it? Oh,
I
it's
think the
Whitney's.
Milwaukee Bucks sent the private plane
Well, maybe they
because
didn't
the
show the
president was
plane.
involved. I think that they must have
Yeah,
some sort
but
of a
did we
deal
ever
with.
even see them on the plane?
Yeah, we do. It's big. There's like multiple seats. It's like a nice private plane. It looks like
How
a
come
team.
I missed the
It looks like a
plane?
team plane.
Oh, so maybe it was. There
It
was a
looks like a team
plane?
plane. Yeah, it
Well,
looks like a team
when
plane.
did that happen? Of course,
They were
before
on the plane
they
for
went
like,
to Provo Airport
no,
and I
no, they're
saw
on the
them
plane
get
for like
out
a
of the
hot second.
cars. It
Hot
was
second.
quick.
Quick.
Maybe that's
But we've
why.
never seen we've never seen a professional sports team like this be so open to
About
the
bringing them
housewives.
in. Yeah.
I have a feeling that maybe the Bucks did have like some sort. Well, again, the Celtics, for example, in Boston, like their deal for being aired is NBC Sports. I wonder if that's an NBA thing. NBC owns Bravo. There might be a
Oh,
connection
so
there.
maybe. Yeah. Are they good, the Milwaukee
Oh
Brewers?
yeah, they won. They won a few years ago. But I will say this
Oh.
for those out
Is it the
there,
Brewers?
the
What's the name?
Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks.
The
Okay, the
Bucks.
Brewers
Okay, so
is the
I want to give
baseball
people
team.
a quick, like 30-second little lesson here.
Okay.
First and foremost, yes, Damian Lillard is like the second best player on the Bucks. Okay, so and he's like a one of the better players in the NBA. Bronwyn, you're not big fans of Damian Lillard. Okay, I'm sorry, you're not. You may know who he is because we all know some of them go to jazz games. Sorry, Lisa.
Yeah.
Blowjobs to jazz tickets. But I will say this, that like you maybe saw him play, maybe you know his name, maybe your husband's, or again, maybe Katie, you know who he is, but not
Maybe he
Katie.
went to her alma mater or something, though. You
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. No, I don't think so. But the other thing is that right
No, because
before,
she would have said, I went
yeah,
to whatever
right
too.
before
Right.
Damian Lillard came over to see them courtside, there's a soundbite of Angie going, "Oh my God, I hope he comes over." She's talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's Greek,
Right.
the Greek freak they call him. He's like
Yeah,
the
the
best
Greek
player in the
freak.
NBA. He's won the
Right.
MVP a few times. I was really wondering if he's going to come over. Now, all I got to say is this. I find it so savage that Angie K shows up drenched in Greek couture outfit
Right.
and that Giannis didn't want to be on camera so bad that he didn't come over and say hi.
He didn't
And
come say
instead,
hi.
they must have had to have Damian Lillard come over. I'm sure they said, "Is anyone comfortable being on the show?" I'm sure Dame Lillard was like, "Whatever." Maybe his wife watches one of the shows or something
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
I know. And
Doesn't care.
probably, and they could live in Georgia in the off season. They could live in OC during the off season. They could live
Yeah,
in
they could have
Dallas.
friends on the
They,
show, right? Like,
no. But
what's
they
her
could
name on
live
Beverly
near
Hills?
a
Her
city.
husband was an athlete,
Right. Well, this is
Marianne or
what I'm
whatever.
saying. She could be
Yeah.
saying, like, oh, we live in Georgia. Maybe we can get
Potomac,
on
one of the
Atlanta.
Potomac is has an
Potomac.
ex-husband who is a
Yeah.
football player.
Right.
Atlanta had an ex-husband that was a football player.
We know
We saw
about
what's her name?
OC,
We saw what's her name?
wife number
Tracy.
4.
Tracy on Jersey. Tiki Barber's wife was on a season.
Yeah. And
You
we
just
had
never know
wife
how many of these
number
people
4.
may
Who
have.
was ex-wife number 4?
Sheree, Whitfield? No.
No, on OC.
Oh, Edmonds, Jim
Yeah,
Edmonds.
Jen Edmonds.
Yeah,
And
so like
she
there are
was
athletes in the
Megan.
Bravo world.
Megan was
But
her name.
again, how many people do we know? Like again, there his girlfriend, spouse, mother, sister could watch Bravo. It's on in the background. Like the other thing about a lot of these professional athletes, some of them, their family members, some of them live with them, some of them they pay for them. Like they're very close. We have to remember people of influence don't have big groups of friends sometimes. Like, and there's a very close connection between sports and pop culture. It's not uncommon that someone wouldn't. Now, I just find it funny.
Wasn't Deshaun first season of Atlanta? Sure, her husband was an NBA player.
Yeah, Eric Snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deshaun Snow. And then Sheree's husband was
It was Bobby Whitfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my point there is that it's not uncommon, but I find it funny that Bravo edits it to have Angie go, and I'll be so excited if he comes over here. And then the next thing you know, Dame Lillard is there. And it's like, yeah, that is the second best player on the team. But so there you go.
Yeah. But I kind of like those type of, now, first of all,
I think it was their
if you
plane,
had
though.
your choice between a bobblehead museum and a casino, Andrew, what are we picking?
I mean, that's like, it's the Pope Catholic. Like, I mean, come on.
Andrew and I kind of like to go to the casino
We do.
occasionally.
We also have a nice one that's brand new, no smoking. It's
Yeah,
five-star
it's not
resort.
seedy,
It's owned by
but
Steve Wynn. Like, there's a lot of like good perks here, great restaurants, and it's right down the street from both.
literally we can blink. Oh, look where I ended up.
So,
And the
as they
funny
say,
part is, which gets back to this episode, it's right near a Costco. So when I say
exactly.
to my family, I'm gotta run over to Costco, they actually mean that I'm coming home with one package of raspberries and I'll be gone for 4 hours.
It's like my friend Ryan, whose husband used to be, well, they still are very wealthy. And Ryan was always used to say to his husband, Desmond, I'm going to the dentist. And he was going to get his Botox. And the dentist would say cleaning, filling on the bill,
Yeah, but he was
but it was
getting
the Botox.
Botox. That's good. I like that. I got to get mine to do that. Now, I felt bad about Jack.
Oh, I did too. And you
Jack's
know what?
sick in
This is why I
Colombia.
like you, Lisa. This is why you're like Tree. You hold a lot in. You're very wired to like not tell people things, but then the minute someone brings it up, you just cave. You're like, "Ah!"
Well, here's the thing. There are varying levels of love for your children in housewife world.
Yeah.
Teresa is all about her kids. Actually, I would say Jersey is in general, okay? There are some housewives, like maybe one or two in New York. If their kid was in Colombia sick, they'd go, "Oh yeah, they were sick. Where's the next drink?" Like, and maybe
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be devastated. Some Beverly
Mm,
Hills women wouldn't be like so upset that their kid was sick in Colombia, but Lisa Barlow was. There are different, I mean, I think everybody loves their kids, but there's different levels of hovering over their children, and Lisa is at a 10 of hover.
yeah.
Yeah, she's a hoverer. I don't think a lot of people would be as concerned about it. But hey, if my kid was hey, your sister got sick in New York in COVID, well, she didn't have COVID, but with something else. And, your mom was all over that like white on rice.
Exactly.
I mean, but do you like caviar?
No,
Oh, me either.
no.
But I've never had it on a potato chip.
I
And I
haven't either.
heard if you have it on a potato chip, it's a whole different phenomenon than just a cracker. So, word out there for those of you as the holiday season comes, so if you're a little if you want a little nosh, maybe get some nice potato chips with your caviar.
Okay. Who's a
That's
mess?
no, I wasn't done with this show,
Well,
but
then bring it up.
I think that Bronwyn has come in a little too hot for a newbie,
Okay.
but I also believe that the senior housewives love hazing the newbies.
Well, yeah, but I also have to say, like, I just think that Lisa and Heather were not prepared for Bronwyn to be like, okay, you want to bring that up that I said? I'm going to bring up what you guys
Yeah,
said.
because they didn't expect her to come in so hot as a newbie.
Yeah, they thought that she'd be intimidated.
What did you think of how Brittany reacted to the Browgate?
I thought it was fair.
Yeah, I thought they kind of did her dirty, actually, to tell you the truth.
A
I
little
think
bit.
she's being played dirty. I think the ladies are playing her a little dirty in every sort of
I think the
episode.
producers are also playing her a little dirty.
Yeah,
Because I
and
think that like
there's a
she's,
victimization to her a
but
little
I also
bit.
think
Like,
she's trusting like she's naive and like she just wasn't given the advice that I think she needed, whereas Bronwyn was given very good advice.
yes,
And then you look at someone on, say, OC, I think Katie was given good advice and also a little naive. Like she's kind of in the middle.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think, like you say, Bronwyn, if Christian Seriano is really designing for her and she's really in those circles legitimately, then Christian Seriano was like, "Oh, girl, you've got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah, like don't put up
I'm
with any
in
bullshit. Exactly.
Project
And she's also
Runway. I know
Lisa's
how it
friend, remember?
goes."
So I think Lisa, even though now
Oh,
Lisa
yeah,
was
all
trying to pull
these
a fast one,
friends,
but
yeah,
I think that
are
Lisa knew her for
friends.
years. And so what I'm saying is like Lisa was trying to pull a fast one, but that doesn't mean that in a completely different moment, say 6 months before that, when she was cast, Lisa didn't say to her, oh, here's some advice. Lisa probably just forgot she gave her that advice or didn't think she was going to take it. Who
Yeah,
knows?
well, my mess is Brittany.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I almost feel bad for her in a
And my
way.
non-cast member mess is Jared.
Jared Osborne. Osborne. I want to call him
You
Osborne.
kind of like an Osborne these
And
days.
Osmond. That's it.
Anyhow, well,
All
follow
right,
us,
guys.
like us, subscribe us, comment, tell us
Leave us
what you
comment.
think.
Follow us
And
on
don't
at
forget, we're
Andrew.
taking a poll on Real Housewives of New York. So if you care, comment on that video and tell us what you think. We don't want to review it, but we will for you.
We will.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.